Hello, everybody. My name is Nick Hodges, and I'm joined today by a good friend of mine, Brian McHale.
Hello.
I thought about doing these little mini commentary tracks for my previous episodes, and I realized how unbelievably boring it would be by myself, so I asked Brian if he could help me out with it. So I appreciate it, mate.
Welcome, no problem. Welcome to the next month's worth of videos that most of you will skip.
Yeah.
Like, it'll just be these little commentaries.
Only the most hardcore fans will probably be watching
Well,
this.
no, it's good, because it's like, so you've been doing this officially for a year since 2 days ago?
Yeah. The first episode this episode came out on the 4th of July, 2015.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Trying to take away our anniversary.
Maybe I should have done Patriot first, to make it that much more special.
See, and everyone might have been psyched now because they saw the old intro.
Oh god, don't even get me started on the intro.
No, so like this is fine because now I guess I don't know if you want to give the context of the reason you're doing this is because you're going to be away.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be traveling for a few months. I'm going to America. I'm actually going to Comic-Con, like around the 20th of July. Like, I'm doing a gig for Vikings.
Yep.
Like, the History Channel's gone back in touch with me. They want me to do more stuff with them. And then, kind of after that, I'm going to do, like, a little road trip around America. So I'm not going to have time to really, devote myself to making these episodes. So I thought maybe I could just do some audio commentaries instead.
Yeah, so to fill in the gap, this is sort of like a retrospective.
This was one of the first films that triggered my fascination with history. So it only seems right to look at both the film and the actual history behind the film. This is Zulu.
And starting at the beginning, there's
Zulu.
the title.
Yeah.
Zulu.
I was going to say, I haven't seen this for about a year. Like, you should know this. Like, when you spend so much time in the editing process, you kind of get really sick of your own stuff after watching it 100 different times.
No, I'm sure all of these videos look somewhat awful in a way where it's like,
They do,
God.
mate. Like, I recorded this with a crappy rock band microphone. And
well, also because you spent so long, which is the other thing we're going to get to, because I look at this. Yeah, so it has been a year. It's been a year, 2015.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is insane because I remember you talking about this show since when?
Oh, dude. I think it must have been like around 2000 and...
2011?
Maybe. No. Like, I think it happened like around 2013 when the loading bar, the job I used to have at spill.com, that got cancelled.
Right.
And, I was thinking about maybe I should try this YouTube gig, and the problem was that I love movies, right? And the thing is, on YouTube, it's kind of everyone's doing a sort of movie review show, and I thought, like, if I had any chance of, sort of making it as a career, I had to do something a little bit different, And at the time, I couldn't find any channel that only reviews historical movies, and I thought maybe that could be my niche, that not many other people were doing.
Right.
Yeah, and it's actually kind of funny because, like, this is like the second or third version of this episode that was made. You were actually helping me out with the first
I was in the process of editing one of them.
Yeah.
When I was going to be more involved, and then I remember putting like all these kind of like animations in it, and it was just way too much work for the output that you wanted to have. I still have like clips somewhere on an external hard drive of what that was originally going to be like. You had a co-host then. It was a much more like free-form thing, which didn't work.
No, it didn't work, and I listened to your advice.
Wasn't very good.
I decided, it was just not a good idea. And then there was a second version that I shot by myself, and it was going to be kind of like a vlog, kind of like the Nostalgia Critic. It was just going to be cutting to me in my bedroom or something like that. And to be honest with you, like, I thought there was nothing especially interesting about it, so that kind of went out the window. So I kind of spent like a year just like working on and off on these different versions. So kind of what you see now is the third and final version when I'm like, oh, maybe some really basic animation, even just a little bit, might capture people's attention, make it stand out a little bit.
So that to everyone listening who hasn't made a show yet, it's okay. It takes a while. Because oh my god, like I still want to do my own thing, which is we'll see when that happens. But that kind of
well, you've been talking about it for ages. I'm really excited. I can't wait.
That's the same thing as we've both been talking about doing our thing, and then yours happened. But it was like a long time. I remember seeing you we met up in New York and we were still talking about it, and it still hadn't happened, and it was still just this episode, just this movie.
Yeah.
You know, and and it was like, oh, okay, so that'll happen someday, and then like it didn't. It finally happened like still a year later.
Yeah, it did. And it's just, I think like for anyone who's listening to this and wants to do their own YouTube channel, like I would just kind of recommend sort of go for it, and also like make a show that you would want to watch yourself. You know,
Yeah.
hold yourself to the same standards you would hold everyone else. So
Yeah, and then just make the goddamn show, because honestly, after like you got this style, I mean, you had like there's some stuff that you have to do in a first episode to kind of, you're establishing who you are. It's like introducing yourself. So
it is, and it's actually kind of interesting watching this again. Like the structure of my episodes haven't really deviated that much from this one, really. You know, like you've got part 1, part 2, and you know, little animation things. Although this is has a lot, not as much humor. I don't think it has any humor whatsoever. I was still trying to figure that out.
it's just like, I really like the movie. I really like Michael Caine in the movie.
Yeah. Okay, that's one thing that's definitely changed. I didn't really talk about the actors' performances anymore. I mean, like, not that much really, but I kind of just tried to stick with the historical stuff.
Yeah.
No.
I do like Michael Caine. This is the first his first like movie, right? Like his first breakout.
It is, yeah. It was his breakout role. I mean, like, I
crazy.
think he did something beforehand, but like, I remember hearing a story that when he auditioned for the part, Stanley Baker, who's the director of the movie and who plays that guy, sorry, Chard, I think it was. He didn't want to hire him simply because he was Cockney.
Yes.
And he couldn't picture him playing a British officer. And then the producer of the film, who's American, I believe, said, well, he looks like a British officer.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how he got the part. So, yeah.
But this isn't so much to talk about the movie. Let's talk about the reviews and stuff like that. But I did end up watching this movie because of this, because when I was editing it early on, I hadn't seen Zulu. So that was the first time I'd seen it. I think I watched Zulu and then Zulu Dawn for the other clips. I just watched both the movies. I also got like a whole like mini documentary series all about the Zulu and things like that. So that's what I mean. It's like, you know, pace yourself, because ended up doing way too much work for an episode that never aired, and then this one is much more efficient.
I appreciate it, Brian. Like, you know, it was a learning experience and definitely helped out in the end to doing this.
It's a good one to start with. This is still one of your higher viewed videos, so.
Surprisingly, yeah. I mean, like, you know, compared to some of my other episodes, I think this one definitely sort of holds out. But I did have a whole year dedicated to just doing this. So,
Yeah.
Because I used to have a crappy retail job, so like I would just come back at home and you know, for a couple of hours, like just play around with the script or with the footage and that kind of thing.
So
yeah.
that's the key there for people who obsess about like everything needs to be perfect. Like after this one, you kind of got that out of your system, and then you're like, oh, okay, I can just make the show now. So
Yeah, but don't get me wrong. This episode's not perfect. I could find plenty of stuff to critique about it. You know?
is there any more to talk about with this episode? Because I'm just trying to think about. Because we're gonna go through a few.
Yeah. No, we're gonna go a few, but no, I think that's about it. Yeah, you know, I mean, I'm quite fond of this episode, obviously, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, you give it a fair shake. You say, you know, it's kind of accurate, but has a lot of. It's got a lot of that old Hollywood classic cinema to it.
It is, yeah, and I really love these movies from the '60s because they do have like this sort of epic scale to them, and the small things they could say is historically inaccurate. People have a go at me for saying like the location of the Battle of Rorke's Drift is nothing compared to what you see in the movie, but I don't really give a shit because it looks amazing.
Oh yeah. Oh, we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go. People calling you out for historical inaccuracies, which should be fun.
Oh, fair enough. It's just gonna be like a whole bunch of episodes where I'm just like defending myself with every
Please. So I guess that's enough for Zulu.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Let's move on to the next one. All right. Thanks for watching.